There we go. There we go. All right. A little delay. That's cool. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna pussyfoot. Not what I want to say. All right. Okay. Probably don't need that anyway. All right. Move that. All right. So uh, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna get right into it. So just when I was getting sick of talking about the barking years, he dropped this diss track. He dropped this response, and I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm excited because this is gonna be fun. But I thought he was gonna come in way hotter. Anyway, let's get to it. It's by this YouTube channel called The Barking Years, where he's really weird and incelly and angry, and this guy's such a fucking loser. So disgusting. This guy sounds like someone who spends way too much time on Twitter. Just feel the loser energy coming through the screen.
What's up? I'm not really sure what the best way to start a video like this is. Not long ago, a couple of days ago, maybe more than that, depends on how long it takes me to get this out. Somebody made a response video to my obsession video and basically called me out, called me some mean names, and said that my arguments were no good. And I was excited, man. I've never had a hater video. Okay, actually, that's not true. There was one other guy, but it was. I don't know how to say this. I felt bad for the guy. It wasn't the kind of thing that I wanted to go. But this guy is really aggro. He's really insulting, and he really thinks he's, as the kids say, cooking. So I wanted to go through it and kind of give my response commentary. I'm gonna let you know. Don't watch this. This is boring. For me, it's interesting. For you, the only reasons that I can imagine you watching this is if you actually believe the things the guy says, or if you're just interested in kind of like seeing what I would say to it. The spoiler alert is that he's just factually wrong about most of the things he says. That's the consistent element across most of the arguments that he's going to make. There's an astonishing number of just factual inaccuracies, but I felt compelled to respond. So this is. Should I say it? I guess I will. The guy's name is Breakneck MMA, I think. I don't have his channel up in front of me, but small channel, like 200 subscribers when I looked, and I cannot imagine that anybody who watches my videos would be compelled to go like spit some hatred at this guy. Please do not. Please leave this man alone. He's been working at this for a little while, and this appears to be the first one of his videos that has gotten any traction whatsoever. And like honestly, I'm happy for him. My only kind of reservation is that it seems like he makes. I'm not terribly impressed with the content that he makes, so like him kind of catching on, I don't feel moves the needle, but whatever. It's not for me. It doesn't have to be. Anyway, he made this video, and I'm gonna respond because a lot of people from his video start coming back to mine and saying a lot of stuff, and like, why shouldn't I respond? Again, please do not do anything to this guy. It is absolute loser behavior to go repeat like somebody else's dunks on somebody else's video. Please don't do that. I'm begging you, don't do that. Leave the man alone. But he did make some criticisms of me, and
So I do respect the fact that he's not, like kind of using his audience to try to like harass me or anything like that. I respect the fair play. I don't think it had much of a impact. I don't think it mattered because I wouldn't have noticed any. Like they might have commented on my original video. That would have gotten just like drowned in all the noise. I did notice when I uploaded some of these clips to TikTok. In my comments, there was like a repetitive amount of like, oh, this is so performative male final boss, yada yada yada, which may have had nothing to do with his audience at all, but it just kind of seemed too. It seemed like a pattern. It seemed too much of. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Um, and if it was related, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'd rather have people in my comments calling me performative and performative that and woke this and lib that, than have people saying like, yo, check this guy's internet history, check this guy's hard drive, like ASAP, FBI, where you at, that kind of thing.
I want to respond. So in order to avoid any kind of criticism that people say like, oh, you're cherry picking, you're not addressing like every part of his video, I'm going to let this entire thing play and I'm going to address more or less everything he says. I think I'm going to try to put timestamps in the description so that if there are like particular arguments that you want to track, you can do that, or if you just don't want to watch the whole thing. And also, before I get started here, once we get into this, I'm going to kind of match energy with this guy, and I'm going to insult him, and I'm going to kind of trash talk him. But I want to say up front that I have no issues with this dude. I clicked around his page a little bit, and he's just a guy trying to make some videos. And even though the stuff he makes, it doesn't personally interest me, this video, the one that's finally got him some attention, appears to be like the most soulless, bottom feeder content that he's made. And I just think that's sad. I think this guy's gonna kind of get the wrong message from that and think and just kind of, I'll just want to, man, like, don't sell your soul to the algorithm. Like, if you're trying to do this as a hobby, it is super thankless if you just start chasing views by pandering to whatever kind of like the current fad is. I hope you won't kind of lean into that practice, because, I don't know, man, it's just pretty lame. And one thing that I will compliment this guy for,
So right there, he's trying to son me. He's trying to little brother me, which I think is very funny. But if he looked into me just a little bit more, it's not hard to find out that my main presence on the internet is on TikTok, not on YouTube. YouTube has kind of just been like an open, like a notebook of just random ideas. TikTok and writing is where I spend like most of my actual effort. So I've written 2 books so far, under my pen name, Emery Brown. This is Magic is For Real. This is A Court of Queens. And writing it's a lot of upfront costs. It's a lot of, it has crazy overhead cost, for shipping every book, all that stuff. And it's just kind of like an unstable business. So, the only thing I'm looking to get out of like making content that's a little bit more like incendiary is to hopefully get monetized and have my hobby kind of fund my actual passion. So if I have to make fun of 1,000, 10,000 barking years, I'm happy to do that. This is fucking fun. Now, am I gonna take like YouTube and content creation that I make on here a little bit more seriously at some point? It may be. As I get better at it, maybe. I don't really see that happening, but for now, like, this shit's fun. I'm gonna keep doing this.
Is pretty good. I'm gonna ask him later on, but seriously, he's pretty good at just quickly and confidently getting his points out without, like, as soon as I get on a microphone, I'm just like stumbling over my words constantly. He does not appear to have that problem. He's like pretty good at organizing his thoughts in real time. So I will say this for the guy. Okay, all that being said, I'm gonna put on my game face, and
I didn't want to pause it this many times, but like even when he has what he's gonna say thought out, damn, does this dude ramble? And I like to talk. I talk a lot. You can ask any. I ramble a lot. I barely have one thought connected to the other, but man, does this dude just like go on and on. Anyway, you're gonna see that. Sorry.
And we're gonna get a little mean, but everybody's gonna be okay at the end. I hope this guy does well. His content isn't the kind of thing that interests me, but once again, no ill will towards this dude. Now, a lot of the things that this guy talks about were covered by. My voice sounds different because I'm like recording this all different. I'm a busy guy. I do things when I can. Like I was saying, a lot of this guy's criticisms, they kind of echo other criticisms that were made in the comments on the video. So I'm going to kind of treat this video as like kind of a, I don't know, representation of all these kind of generic criticisms. But there was one particular criticism that this guy never brings up, but was brought up many times on the comments of the video. And that is this idea that Curry Barker and other people who are intimately involved with the production of the movie all agree that Bear is the villain. Now, me, of course, being the 500 IQ Chad media literacy enjoyer, I never checked on this because I understand that it doesn't matter. Like, I've read Roland Barthes, Death of the Author, like this, it has been well established within like serious media analysis, literary analysis, that the intent of the author is not like the end point of all discussion of any piece of writing or piece of media. So like, I didn't need to refer back to this. I understand that it's irrelevant. Once somebody's created a piece of work, it has to stand on its own. You can't just like point to the intent of the author and be like, oh, that's what it means. That's not how it works. You're an idiot if you think that. And like, these people all on some level know this, and you can tell that they know it because if any person makes a piece of media or says something and they are able to like read like racism or sexism into it, it immediately does not matter to them whether or not the actual author of XYZ thing says like, oh, that wasn't my intent. Like, they don't care. They know this is bull on some level. I think a lot of these people aren't really good at connecting dots, which is why it's funny that they're so seethingly mad at Bear for failing to connect dots when they're like probably worse at it than him. I'm getting distracted. The point is, I didn't look into this, but some of my other commenters, like one guy in particular, and I'm not sure if he wants me to like put him on blast, but this guy like said a lot of good stuff. Brought my attention to the fact that, like so many of the other complaints and criticisms that I got, it's just factually wrong. You're just fucking wrong. So here's a Hollywood Reporter video with Curry Barker in which he explicitly says other people are free to come up with alternative interpretations of his movie, and he's cool with it.
Even if this was a success, I never expected it to be breaking records, and it's just an unbelievable thing that's happening, and it's beyond me at this point. It's not even mine anymore. This movie just belongs to the world now, and they're going to come up with their own ideas of what it means and what it is, and I think that's really cool.
And here is a Hollywood Reporter interview with Bear Johnston, the guy who played Michael Johnston, the guy who plays Bear, in which he just straight up says, "No, I don't agree that Bear is like the cold-hearted villain that you people think he is." So the real test for these people is now that they've been just like proven wrong, will they shut the fuck up? I'm very curious to find the answer to this. My guess is that they will not shut the fuck up, but happy to be proven wrong. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna have like some more kind of general responses to comments kind of spliced in amongst this guy's criticisms. Especially like one kind of consistent thing that I noticed, but this guy's gonna do like a really good job of actually demonstrating this point. But yeah, I think that's everything. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna let it play now. Okay.
So I was browsing my recommended videos on YouTube, and I stumbled upon an Obsession review that is somehow worse than Alex Meyer's review, which I didn't think that was possible, but here it is. And I honestly thought this was clickbait, but I've never been so happy to be wrong.
Okay, finally. I had some guy in my comments say something like, "Oh, this is genius clickbait." It's not clickbait. There's nothing deceptive about it. I am making that argument. Don't call it clickbait. Thank you.
It's by this YouTube channel called The Barking Years, which is basically like a movie review, video essay kind of content style. It takes itself a lot more seriously than Alex Meyer's. It's not as like jokey and corny, and but it's just as cringe. Just like Alex Meyer's, when you sort of fold back their discography, you're gonna find that the weird takes have been there the entire time. The off vibes have been there the entire time. They just bubble to the surface because it's the subject matter of this movie. And the first movie review that's available on this guy's channel is about the movie Good Time with Robert Pattinson. And if you've seen that, no, he does not talk about that part of it. And if you haven't seen that, I'm going to give you the synopsis, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. But let's talk about his Obsession review first.
Okay, so if you were curious about this, I certainly was. And I'll just go ahead and kind of spoil it now. What he's talking about is the fact that in Good Time, Robert Pattinson's character makes out with a underage girl, and he actually claims that this is statutory. He actually claims that this is factually inaccurate. They do not have sex, and the character's motivations for doing this is they're not that he wants to get with an underage girl. Like he has.
Doesn't matter if they did. Doesn't matter. Oh my god, I'm kind of sick of doing this live. Whatever. Fuck this. I'm not doing this fucking live, dude. I'll upload this shit later. Fuck it. I don't want to do this live. Fuck it.